SoFaygo first week sales have been projected to be under 19K. Now, if you recall, I actually predicted it to be 10 to 15K. I don't think anyone has official numbers, but I still think that anything above 10K, and I know some people might say different because it has the Uzi feature, has the Don Toliver feature, it has the Gunna feature, that it should be selling like, 20, 30, whatever, because Yeet sold 34K. I just don't think it's fair to compare SoFaygo and Yeet right now, because SoFaygo doesn't, like, he just isn't as hot like that. That's like comparing Yeet to, I don't know, Baby Santana or something, or like, you can't compare Yeet to anybody because he's not even in their lane anymore. Like, he's on the, and we'll talk about this later with the Grammy nominations, he is up there with fucking Drake and Youngboy and billions of streams per year. He's not messing around with like SoFaygo. Now, quality wise, you guys can say and have an opinion that it was better than whatever Yeet's dropped. That's fair. Do what you got to do. But I think above 10K is a slight W, maybe lower case, but still a W, because I think that everybody else in the underground, or in this upcoming generation that I think is phasing out, I don't think any of them have had any like first week sales that are registered in Billboard or wherever it goes, chart data, whoever comes up with these numbers and calculates them. Because it's hard to get all the data from every single streaming platform, so you gotta be in the back end on the APIs. What is the poll saying? It's saying 10 to 15K. People are saying no, it looks like 15 to 20K is beating 10 to 15K. I doubt. I think it's 10 to 15. But I think if it goes above 10K, because usually if it's not above 10K, like say 9 or lower, like with the smoke perps and the comethazines and shit, and not trying to diss them, it's really honestly hard to get 10K first week sales. But he does have a lot of entry push. He's on a couple of playlists, as we discussed in the last stream, but I just don't think it's pushed as much as Yeet, and he just doesn't have as much organic hype as Yeet, just because he waited so long, and that's what happens. But let's see, 10,000 copies times 1,500, that's still 15 million streams in 1 week. So to make it 20K, you need 30 million streams. What is he at right now? Let's check his top song on Spotify, because that'll be the best indicator for us. So the top song on the playlist, or sorry, on the Pink Heartz album is Hell Yeah, but that dropped earlier, that as a single. That's 4 million. So let's say it's probably, given the rest of the songs, that, because I don't think it missed once. Stay Awake with Uzi at 600K. So 600 times what? Let's say 10. Probably at like 6 million streams. Oh god, but times 2 through 18, shit. I think 10 to 15K. 10 to 15K first week. But again, that's not bad. What other, who is he competing with right now? I think that he's kind of in between like Yeet and then Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson. Who else in this upcoming generation is anywhere close to Yeet? You're saying get off Jace meat sack? Bro, we haven't even talked about him ever. I don't know, y'all are the ones that bring him up, but you're right. I think Jace is below say like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely. He's below them. I truly think Ken and Destroy Lonely are the ones that are having the biggest albums first week, sales wise. Destroy Lonely might even. Lucky, true, but I feel like also Lucky's kind of in his own lane, because he's kind of been in the game for so long that you can't really compare him to even Yeet, although again, just size wise, Yeet is way bigger. No Stylist or Pink Heartz? That's a good question. I like them both. They both have different vibes. It's like whatever I'm feeling. Pink Heartz is like a good mainstream field. No Stylist is more of like the shit that I listen to by myself, if you will. I'd still pick No Stylist, I think. They're pushing his music on TV. Just heard his shit on Nike commercial. Oh God. But see, that's the Travis effect. I don't even think so. Travis isn't even doing like the most numbers compared to other artists. Like Cardi, technically, even though Cardi's released more recently, he's getting more streams than Travis Scott is right now. But Travis Scott, whenever he drops, people think he's like a god because with Astroworld, he sold 500K. But remember, like 250K of those first week sales was merch bundles. It was with the t-shirts, and he did like a new Astro World t-shirt every single day. So of course, you know, that's a feat in itself because you get way more money than the streams. Honestly, that's the way you got to do it if you're a businessman. Like, who gives a fuck about the music? The label pays you to advance on that, and then if you're not in a 360 deal, why not just sell clothes and take all the profit off that, or a higher percentage? But yeah, under 19K. I don't know who came up with this number, but it does make sense. Do I know Ken Carson first week numbers? No. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, even who are the biggest people in the underground? Like Snot, Cochise, although I know that they're like in their own separate lane. I'm just trying to think of like people that level of Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, although I think Snot is actually bigger than them. Cochise might be bigger than them as well because he has bigger singles because he's been on like the TikTok bangers for like a few years now. But even their albums with Tell 'Em or whatever other singles that actually popped off and were big hits, even in 2K, I'm pretty sure the soundtrack, they're not even registering to get first week sales. So that's why I'm saying, even if just SoFaygo gets on like the radar of numbers, like people are actually checking for it or you can find it, that's a W for me in my book, because that means that he sold a significant amount. Whereas if it's less than 10K, just people they're not even checking for it, or it just doesn't register enough, you know? But it would be devastating if he did not, because people are looking, because the Yeet SoFaygo comparisons, he is not going to live that down ever. Do I think Can on the same level as Ken and Lone? I don't, actually. I think that Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely, although again Can kind of did it all on his own, although he built himself up with Slay World, I think that Ken and Destroy Lonely are bigger, what's the word, like just artists in general, like more people know them. In fact, let's check something. And I know monthly listeners doesn't always indicate the size of an artist because, I don't know, SoundCloud or whatever, but Can's got 1.2 mil, Ken Carson got 1.9. See, but Ken's also dropped way more music, I feel like, although Can drops a lot on SoundCloud. But regardless, you get the point. I think Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely are just bigger, although they have the backing of Playboi Carti. So whenever you have like a big artist that you're signed to, that's the pro of it. You have like the foundation. It's easier to be bigger because you get the cosign. And Carti's cosign, as we all know, is like just, it's like being on the moon. And Destroy Lonely at almost at 3 mil, you're saying? Jesus. Yeah, so he bigger than Ken Carson, like for sure. I think his songs are going up faster than Ken's too. Let's see. Ken, Yale, Freestyle 2. Although Freestyle 2 been going off, but that dropped before No Stylist, I'm pretty sure. And No Stylist has more streams. So that should tell you whose album is truly doing better. And then the second best song, actually Freestyle 3, or the second best performing song from the original tape, had Destroy Lonely feature on it, whereas Destroy Lonely, actually the second best song or performance song, had Ken Carson feature on it. I also just think that Destroy Lonely's sound is just more, I don't know, I feel like the old heads could fuck with him, whereas Ken, the old heads are not fucking with that at all, because he's more of like a rager, like with the super distorted beats and the synths, super futuristic. Like, if it's gonna be hard. It's like anybody over 25 years old, I'm like the only 25-year-old, above 25-year-old that is, because I'm 26, that probably listens to some rage music. But at a certain point, like, you start losing. I already lost some of my hearing, yo. The earwax been clogging it up, so the rage, it just doesn't go through. I don't know. But the little kids, y'all be beating off of that.